please join me in welcoming Mr. Punit Shah. Of course.
Thank you, Dean Abneja, parents, faculty members, and of course, graduates. 15 years ago, almost to the day, I sat where each of you are sitting, the graduating class of 2017. And I was probably having some of the same thoughts as you are. What is my career going to be like? Who exactly is this guy talking right now? Maybe I shouldn't have stayed out partying so late last night. But today, on graduation, we all have the same thing in common. We are all graduates of one of the finest and most prestigious hospitality programs in the world. Actually, this is my third graduation ceremony. I attended mine in 2002. I attended my wife's a few years later, and now I'm here with you today. And my parents are also in the audience. I'd like to say hello to them. They just flew in from Florida to join us this morning, and it's my mom's birthday. So Mom, happy birthday. I love you. So I fondly remember my time here at Boston University, and I owe much of my success to the lessons that I learned here. And I can say that without a doubt, those of you seated in front of me this morning are far more prepared and ready to succeed than I ever was. So I wish you all the best as you start your journey ahead. Some of you may be thinking that you know where this journey is going to lead you. You've done the right internships during the past few years, which have led you to the right job, which will put you on the right track for the right kind of life. Others of you may be thinking that this journey will be more fluid, that you can just show up and your career path will just figure itself out. Well, my friends, I'm here to tell you that success is not a linear path. And no matter how well laid out your plans are, life has other plans for you. So I'd like to share part of my story with you, and I hope that you can draw upon its lessons as you begin this new chapter of your journey. The same year that I was born, my father started a company called Liberty Group, which was a family business that owned and managed hotels throughout the Midwestern United States. So throughout my childhood, and even when I was at Boston University, I assumed it was a natural transition for me to go and work for my family business after graduation. I never thought that I had to worry about finding a job. I never thought I would have to worry about creating a new career for myself. And so I really, truly enjoyed every moment that I spent in Boston. I think my professors can probably attest to that. But just before days after graduation, my father shared with me that he had planned to sell all of his hotels and move to Florida. So literally weeks after I graduated, I was left without a job, without a career, without a place to call home. And my classmates, like most of you, had spent their senior year preparing for life after college, and most had plans after graduation. So after 4 years of being surrounded in a city that I loved, with all of my friends, I had no choice but to move to Florida, where I'd only been a couple times to visit Disney World or the beach as a child. Suddenly and abruptly, I was left without any friends, without any contacts, any business leads, and it was kind of like my first day at BU without orientation week or those awkward mixers. It was up to me to establish my own identity and my own business strategy. So all my life, I grew up as the son of the CEO, but now I was just a graduate in a new city, in a new state, and it was up to me to define my own success. There were times where I couldn't sleep for weeks, not knowing what my future held. My wife and my family were the only support system that I had. I wanted to be my own person, different than my father, and create my own destiny. After my father had sold his hotels, I decided that I didn't want to go down that path. I felt like a betrayal. I wanted to forge my own path and abandon anything that had come before it. So I ventured into other types of investments. I developed large multifamily residential projects, assisted living facilities, virtually anything else that I could not to follow my father's footsteps. It took me nearly a decade after college to figure out what my strengths and my weaknesses were. And with the help of my mentors and my family, how to leverage my experience and my educational background. That decade, during my 20s, was spent exploring opportunities, making and losing a lot of money, and questioning my inabilities while testing my capabilities. The strategy that has given me the honor of standing before you this morning is one that I created during that time. Essentially, I utilized the platform that my father had created, but then I used my exposure in finance to reinvent the company through a holistic approach by implementing a startup mentality. And my team and I virtually created a brand new integrated hotel investment, development, and management company that is really truly unique in the industry. Because of the time that I spent to find out exactly what makes me tick, I've grown a small family business into a company with more than $500 million in investments. So over the past 15 years, my career has evolved. Originally, I didn't want to do anything in the hotel industry, but now I've surpassed the successes that my father had in his career and all the goals that I had ever set for myself. So even though now I'm in my 30s, I continue to be as ambitious as I was the day that I was sitting in your seats right now. I remain laser focused and continuing to grow the company, and I don't think I'll be satisfied until my full potential is reached. So as you forge your own path in the world of hospitality, know that the lessons that you've learned here at Boston University have universal applicability. One of the best things that I've learned about hospitality throughout all my own experiences and travels is this: that we are all citizens of the world, and that the smile is a universal currency of the world. If you think about it, no matter what culture, no matter what part of the world, when you meet someone and you greet them with a smile and they greet you back, you have a connection where words are just not necessary. And as we've all grown older, our world has gotten smaller. What separates each of us from someone in another continent has shrunk dramatically. Just last month, I was at the Google headquarters in Silicon Valley, and in each room, there was a meeting going on. The interesting thing is that in each meeting, there was just one person and one TV. And on that one TV was just another person somewhere else in the world. Today, we can FaceTime with someone on another continent from the palm of our hand. A few months ago, I literally sold a portfolio of hotels from my phone while sitting on an active volcano in Ecuador without anyone, including my own attorneys, having the slightest clue where I was. And I only bring this up because as the world shrinks and more cultures come into contact with one another, it's imperative that we treat everyone with dignity and respect. It is a fundamental lesson in hospitality that no matter who or where our guests are, it is our duty to treat them like we would our own family. Think about a front desk attendant who sees people in every day, in every occasion, every situation. There are guests that stay in our hotels for business, for a wedding, for a funeral, for a baby shower. No matter why a guest is staying at our hotels, it's up to that attendant to make each guest stay as welcoming as possible. Everyone we interact with within our lives is going through something different for that moment, good or bad. While we can't predict other people's situations, we all have a chance to make a brief moment in their lives better. In the same way a front desk attendant welcomes every guest, we have that same opportunity for everyone that we meet in our lives. Life is one constant act of hospitality. As citizens of the world, it's up to us to show that sort of hospitality to everyone that we meet. So in looking back at my journey, there are a few lessons that I've drawn from that I hope will help you. Up until this moment, you've probably been following in someone else's footsteps, trying to measure up to expectations of you. I too fought that weight for very long. I somehow thought that I was supposed to be just like my father, that my course had to be just like his. As a result, I rebelled. I did everything I could to go down a different path, only to come full circle a decade later. My parents actually never told me that they wanted me to take over the family business. I just assumed that I was supposed to follow in their footsteps because I thought that was what I was supposed to do. So here is the takeaway. No one is expecting you to be like anyone else. The world is not expecting perfection. The world is not holding you to a higher standard than the standard that you set for yourself. There is absolutely no limit to success, professionally or personally, that you are capable of. I want you to see yourself like an iPhone, except an iSon or an iDaughter. Yes, you probably have a few flaws, and there may be a few newer features that some people have that you wish you had, but all that's expected of you is to continue becoming a more successful version of yourself every day. Don't fight who you are. Keep updating. Instead of abandoning the expectations from those who care about your success, like everyone in this room, embrace them and improve on your future. The world does not ask for you to be perfect. I was nowhere close to being perfect when I graduated, and I'm still not today. But what the world does ask of you, and what I implore of you, is that you continue to find ways to be a better person every day. My new friends, allow me to share with you the following pieces of advice that have helped me since graduating 15 years ago. Surround yourself with positive, focused, genuine, and great people. You are who you surround yourself with. Use the values of hospitality as your guide to choose who you spend time with. Find and develop mentors that will help you achieve your goals. That's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. One of the first people that I met when I moved to Florida, who's a great friend of mine and one of my mentors now, he told me that when he never got his PhD degree, he always had a PhD instilled in the way that he did business. He was always poor, hungry, and determined. That phase resonates with me, and it gives me the drive to want to jump out of bed every morning. Your career should not be so much about what others want from you, but what you want from yourself. Do what inspires you to wake up every morning and love life. Challenge yourself to become a smarter, more thoughtful, and creative person. Take the time to find a career that is your passion, even if it takes a decade like mine. As Dean Upnaja mentioned, I met my wife here at the School of Boston University, and we've been together since. My best friends to this day are my roommates from Boston University. And the professors here at the School of Hospitality have not only supported me during my time here, but they continue to be part of my career many years later. In fact, I still get notes from these incredible leaders and encouragement, and I hope this school and the experiences that you have all just shared together will live with you for many years ahead like they have for me. Just know that this is not the end, but the beginning of a lifelong relationship with Boston University. I was a freshman when my father spoke here at the Distinguished Guest Lecturer Series about 20 years ago, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be speaking to that class a few years later, let alone being your commencement speaker today. College to me was about learning through a series of experiences and interactions. Now is a part of your journey where you get to explore who you are. Be adventurous, challenge yourself, make discoveries that will continue to build on this foundation. Work hard and be sure to enjoy the fruits of your efforts to maintain balance in your lives. I will leave you with the words from Conrad Hilton, a man that you all know as one of the pioneers of the hospitality industry. Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. To the class of 2017, may you continue moving forward, making mistakes, not quitting, and expanding on your past successes, including graduating today. Congratulations to the class of 2017.